Hi Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central, bringing you a Kagura deck profile for Vortex Dragon and Dragonic Overlord the Great. So obviously we're going to run 4 Vortex Dragon. His non-legion skill is when, so during your main phase, when an opponent's unit is put into the drop zone, he gets plus 3000 power. So with all the retiring in this deck, he's going to get a lot of power boost. Then his legion skill is while you're in legion, you can counterblast 2 and discard a card that's on your Vanguard circle, so either him or the mate. You get to retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards, and if they have 4 damage or less, you can deal 1 damage to them, and they don't get trigger effects for that, so they're not going to be able to draw a card from draw triggers or get a heal stop your attacks. Then we're going to run 4 Dragonic Overlord the Great. His non-legion skill is when his attack hits, you can choose a unit on your rear guard that has the same name as a Vanguard. You can retire that and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire that as well. So that's great if you have like extra copies of the Great in your hand that you don't want to re-ride. You can just call him out, then hit with him. Is it Vanguard? Yeah, so it's actually when an attack hits, so you don't have to hit the Vanguard. So you can kind of turn extra copies that you don't want into retires. And then his legion skill is when after you attack a rear guard, you can counterblast 1, discard 2 cards, and restand your Vanguard. So you can kind of try to stack crits before they have to guard your Vanguard attack. Next, going to grade 2s, we have 2 Tariev. And he's going to be when your opponent's unit is put into the drop zone in the same column as him, he's going to get plus 5000. But your Vanguard does have to be in Legion. So he's really good because you're going to want to put him, and then you can use either Dragon skill or attack the rear guard and front row rear guard in the same column with Dragon and give him, you know, tons of power, like plus 10,000 if you're using Dragon skill. So push out a lot of cards from your opponent. Next, you're on 2 Menace Lasers. Their skill is if you have a Perdition Vanguard, when you call it to rear guard, you counterblast 1 and retire a unit in the same column. Helps you kind of stifle their early pushes at you, and that's mainly why he's in the deck. Just don't want to get rushed down too hard. Next, we run 3 Neoflames, the mate for Dragonic Overlord the Great. His skill is during this turn that you call him, he is going to get, when your opponent's unit is put into the drop zone in the same column as this, you can counterblast 1, choose another unit in that same column, and retire it. So if they have like a column with this and like a booster, you can retire the front row, counterblast 1, and then retire the booster as well. So that's great for clearing out your opponent's field. Next, we run 4 mates for Vortex Dragon. Helps us get that Persona Blast-like skill off more often. And he's a 12k attacker, so lets you put that pressure on your opponent without needing too many boosters. Next is going into the grade 1s. I'm going to run 4 perfect cards. Staple in any deck. Gotta block those high power attacks. Running 4 Gojos. His skill is you get to rest him, drop a card and draw a card. Helps you filter out cards that you don't want, help you get to Vortex Dragon skill, and also sets up your drop zone for Legion early without having to guard too much. Next we have 4 Mareikos, or sorry, Malaiko. And so he is when an opponent's rear guard is put into the drop zone in the same column as him. You get a Soul Blast 1 and unflip a damage, so he's going to help you manage your counterblast, you know, make Vortex Dragon skill free if you kill 2 units in the same column by Soul Blasting 2. And lastly, I'm going to run 2 10k attackers for Kagura, for Perdition specifically. It's going to help you put on pressure early if you want to, and we actually couldn't find them, but these probably should be Calamity Towers, help you get that early Legion and a little bit of advantage to go along with it. Lastly is the trigger lineup. Standard 8 crits, 4 draws, a little bit of advantage, a little bit of pressure, 4 heals, nothing new there. And the starter is going to be Red Pulse Draco Kid, Counterblast 1, move him into the soil, look at the top 5 for a grade 3 unit, grade 3 or higher if you're running Novell, which we aren't, and put that into your hand. Hope you get those copies of the Great to re-ride for defensive plays, or extra copies of Dragon to destroy your opponent's field.
Thanks for watching our videos, guys. Comment down below if you have any questions, like us, and subscribe to us if you want to see more. Vanguard Central, out.
Hey Cardfighters, Chris here from Vanguard Central, bringing you a Kagero deck profile for Vortex Dragon and Dragonic Overlord the Great. So starting off, we have obviously 4 Vortex Dragon. Actually, I have no idea what their skills are, so